Despite killing the beloved Asuma Sarutobi and causing general misery and mayhem across the Leaf Village, Hidan of the Akatsuki was actually a pretty funny character. He had an aloofness, sarcasm, and general apathy that can only come with immortality. The above quote sounds fairly vicious and nasty, but it's pretty funny given the context. Shikamaru Nara, the student of Asuma, had managed to eviscerate Hidan and leave him in a hole in the ground. Shikamaru was just about to bury when Hidan, now only a head, screamed the above quote in the hopes of intimidating Shikamaru. It didn't work. Konohamaru Sarutobi was Naruto's #1 fan as a young child, and he even learned the Rasengan jutsu from Naruto. He also learned the sexy jutsu from Naruto, which inevitably led to plenty of humor and awkwardness over the course of the series. However, the above quote actually came from the spin-off, Rock Lee and his Ninja Pals. This was intended to be a comedic and chibi-styled companion to the main Naruto Shippuden series. It was a cute series of shorts, and this quote was easily one of the highlights. Tobi was a hapless assistant to the Akatsuki who was made into a full member after the group kept losing members. Of course, he was later to be Obito Uchiha and an agent of the deceased Madara Uchiha intended to push the Akatsuki into the direction that Madara intended. However, the audience first met Tobi as an assistant to Deidara. After Deidara lost his second arm to Kakashi, he met up with Tobi and Zetsu. That's when Tobi delivered the above line, all the funnier considering that Deidara was disarmed in the most literal manner possible. Tobi was overall a fairly slapstick character and a good bit of comic relief until he started getting serious and got closer to revealing his true identity. Suigetsu was a member of Sasuke's renegade group consisting of himself, Suigetsu, Garen, and Hugo. Of the quartet, Suigetsu was the self-styled comedian. He had plenty of sarcastic lines and made every effort he could to get under Karen's skin. The above line was especially funny coming from Suigetsu, as the audience got the distinct impression that he probably wasn't a true believer in Sasuke's dream. It was even funnier in the moment, as he made a decisive gesture with a spoon he was using at the time. Shikamaru is easily the smartest shinobi of his generation. Unfortunately for everyone else, he was also the laziest. Shikamaru felt everything was a waste of effort and, above all else, a drag. However, over time, he proved himself to be a devoted and skilled shinobi, ultimately becoming Naruto's right-hand man when he became Hokage during the Boruto series. The above quote is a good summation of Shikamaru's personality and philosophy. Laziness is a bad habit, but it's hard not to indulge it every once in a while. Not much was known about Kiba's character until the Chunin exams, where he fought against Naruto for the first time. There, we learned that he has not only a dog but also jokes. As a cocky young ninja who underestimated his opponent, Kiba ran his mouth to declare his superiority over Naruto before the match even began. And after hearing that Naruto's dream was to someday become Hokage, Kiba laughed at him, saying he'd become Hokage instead. The funny thing is that Kiba not only lost that fight but also never became Hokage, Naruto did.
Once upon a time, Sakura was madly in love with her teammate, Sasuke. She was so infatuated with him that she despised anyone who got in the way of their love, such as Naruto and Ino. Even when Sasuke abandoned her in their village, Sakura still remained hopeful that the love of her life would one day come back to her. Several years later, Sakura, out of nowhere, told Naruto that she loved him, not Sasuke. She did this in order to convince Naruto to stop chasing after Sasuke, but to be honest, no one was ever buying that lie. There was not a chance that Sakura would ever have a change of heart when it came to her love for Sasuke. The lie was so bad that it was funny. Kushina was the beautiful red-haired mother of Naruto, and like her son, she could be a little hot-headed at times but also had a natural knack for making others laugh. As the Jinchuriki of the Nine-Tailed Fox and a member of the Uzumaki clan, Kushina was always seen as a strong female ninja who could handle anything, including her Hokage husband, Minato. However, her greatest fear was revealed while she was pregnant with Naruto. With the most terrified look on her face, she asked Sasuke's mother if giving birth hurt. It was as if Kushina had never endured scarier or more painful things during life or death missions as a ninja.
Naruto may be known for his dream of becoming Hokage and his unconventional knucklehead ninja ways, but he's also just a guy who loves his ramen. And his love for ramen is something he's certainly not afraid to share with the world, in detail. The quote above is preceded by the lengthy description: "I like instant ramen in a cup, and I really like the ramen Iruka-sensei got me at the Ichiraku noodle shop. But I hate the 3 minutes you have to wait after you pour the water in the ramen cup." During Naruto's introduction to Team 7 at the beginning of the series, he talked about his likes, dislikes, and hobbies, all of which revolved around ramen. Though he did also briefly mention his goal of becoming Hokage, his severe ramen obsession was the biggest takeaway from that introduction. The leader of Team 7, Kakashi, started out as a mystery to his students due to his mask and refusal to share any personal details about himself. The most Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura knew about their teacher was that he had a habit of being late and reading sketchy adult novels. At the same time Naruto gave his ramen introduction to Team 7, Kakashi introduced himself in the vaguest way possible. He didn't feel like telling them about his likes or dislikes, he supposedly never thought about his dreams, and he had a lot of unspecified hobbies. While Team 7 only learned about ramen from Naruto's introduction, they learned absolutely nothing from Kakashi's. From the moment his character was first introduced, Lee has always carried a bit of comedy with him in his unique appearance and overly dramatic passion for training. What he lacks in ninjutsu and genjutsu, he makes up for in taijutsu and humor. Even in the midst of the Chunin exams, Lee took it upon himself to get in some extra training whenever an opportunity arose. Since he was in the Forest of Death, surrounded by trees, he made it a challenge to collect every single falling leaf before they touched the ground, and he used his hopeless crush on Sakura as motivation. Just as Lee made a memorable and hilarious first impression, his teacher, Guy, made an extremely flashy entrance that left Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and the audience in shock. After Lee's first fight with Sasuke, Guy stepped in to scold his student for starting a fight and almost using a forbidden technique. As punishment, Guy not only smacked Lee in the face but also had a heartwarming moment with him against a sunset backdrop. He ended the scolding by inspiring Lee to run into the sunset for more training and discipline without messing up his hair. As a young shinobi who was raised as part of the Anbu, Sai was forced and trained to be emotionless for the sake of his assassin duties. But despite his dark childhood, his initial attempts at building friendships after joining Team 7 were genuine and also humorous at times. To try and help Sai, Sakura suggested for him to use personal traits as a way to create nicknames for his friends. Sai responded by calling Sakura ugly. However, after he was punched in the face for being too brutally honest, he learned to do the opposite by calling Ino pretty, despite what he really thought about her. Aside from being the Jinchuriki of the Eight Tails, Killer Bee was best known for his habit of rapping and rhyming. Even while battling the most dangerous enemies, he sure knew how to throw in some humor with his rhymes. For example, when Sasuke and Taka were attempting to secure the Eight Tails for the Akatsuki, Bee casually came up with some witty taunts as if it were a rap battle. To the members of Taka, he rapped, "I am peeking at you. See, you're not quite through, but in all your crew, your brain cells are few." He was so inspired that he even stopped in the middle of his fight with Sasuke to write his new rhymes down in his little notebook.
Jiraiya was an elite ninja who was trained by the 3rd Hokage and later trained both the 4th and 7th Hokages. His one true weakness, however, was his very dirty mind and the perverted tendencies that came with it. While he was supposed to be helping Naruto with his training, he was instead very distracted by beautiful women. When Naruto called him out for being a lousy little pervert, Jiraiya responded by saying he wasn't a little pervert, but rather, a big one.